Hey friends and family, it's James with Crawlersncustoms, and tonight we're going to build up a set of our 1.9-inch turbine wheels. Now these are a high offset wheel with a narrow hub. You'll see that there's a disc brake feature here that's cross drilled. If you're running these on portals, you may need to run thicker 12mm hexes to push these out to clear your portals. Now we've successfully run them with 6mm hexes on vehicles like the Capra or TRX4 that have fairly large portals, but if you're trying to run these really narrow on, let's say, the Vanquish Phoenix, you'll see that the knuckles on the Phoenix are just too big and you'll end up hitting the inside of the rim. So the spec will be available on our website, but this internal diameter is about 46mm, which is about as far as you can push a traditional sort of high offset bead lock. So in any case, let's go ahead and build these up. And get your tire ring. And we're going to be using some Voodoo KLRs here. Pretty old school tire that I like. Works well for our terrain. Going to pop the ring in. And we're going to be using some gold titanium hardware, but this holds true for the standard steel hardware as well. So we're going to pass our rim through the back of the tire. I like to just twist it slightly. You can see it drops right in. And then take our bead lock ring and line it up best you can. I didn't do a very good job there. Okay, looks pretty good. In your package, you're going to get these M2.5 by 12 socket heads. They're longer than the other bolts. This is to get you started. If you have one of those bead lock install tools, that might work for you as well, but this works every time too. So run those in 180 degrees apart from each other and go about halfway down and alternate. So you're putting even pressure on the bead lock ring. Now I'm keeping this flat against the desk because I want to make sure that that bead sits evenly all the way around. And you can hear the tension starting to go up a little bit. Let's take a look. So we got a nice even bead, and we're going to now install our M2.5 by 5mm hardware. Again, these are gold titanium, but this will work exactly the same for the steel hardware that may come with your wheels. So we're going to want to use a cross pattern here and start, and then you can, if you're an expert, go ahead and use a power driver. If this is your first time, use hand tools. We don't want to strip anything out. So what I do when I hold it is I kind of let the tool twist in my hand once it starts to bottom out. Again, I'm using a cross pattern here. All right, so got our hardware installed. I'm going to just use slight pressure to snug these up, make sure they're fully seated. Again, I'm using my hand now, not the power driver, just to take any excess play out and get these cinched up. Again, we're using a star pattern here, kind of working our way across the face of the rim. All right, so that's it. One way you can tell that you got it right is you should feel this fairly smooth. The bolt head should be flush with the bead lock ring, and you should have a nice even tire seat all the way around. So that looks good. So we're going to take our hub and our M3 hardware, Some 3x8. And again, I kind of like to start these by hand. Be careful, especially with higher power drivers. I use really low power, best described as electric screwdrivers. So these hubs are designed to fit lots of different axles. You're going to want to make sure you use a flanged nut, preferably a lock nut, on the, what's wrong bolt? On the axle. Again, we'll use a star pattern here, alternating as we tighten the bolts. All right, so we've got one of our wheels built here, and we are ready to rock and roll. All right, so there you have it. These are about 63 grams with the titanium hardware and a couple grams more with the standard steel hardware. Again, the face should feel totally flush when you've got the tire bead seated correctly like you see on this KLR. So here at the end of the video, we'll show you some of the color choices. There's your silver with black bead lock ring, gold with black bead lock ring, and finally red with black bead lock ring. And these are using standard steel hardware, M3 and M2.5, so I'm sure everybody's got that in their tool assortment. So thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.